I am Lawrence Chuno, and this is Doing Jazz. Hello everyone, and welcome to Doing Jazz. My name is Lawrence Chuno, and this episode is with trumpeter Gil Defay. Gil Defay is one among the rare breed of musicians who comfortably traverse through genre lines. He has worked with Dr. Lonnie Smith, Mariah Carey, Wyclef Jean, and Wynton Marsalis, just to mention a few. On his new album titled It's All Love, Gil draws from his background of jazz, soul, and hip-hop to create a collection of rich and accessible tunes that are all crafted with a generous dose of love. The song playing in the background is titled On That NYC. During my conversation with Gil, you'll hear the songs Locry, The Lean, and What a Friend. Towards the end of the conversation, you'll hear the song D Bros Blues. These songs are all from Gil Defay's new album, It's All Love. After listening to this episode, you can learn more about Gil Defay by going to the website of the show, www.doingjazz.net. You can also follow the show on Instagram and Twitter. The handle is @doingjazz. And you can listen to more episodes of Doing Jazz by subscribing on iTunes, Spotify, or any of the available podcast vendors. If you are on Spotify, please follow the Doing Jazz playlist, a one-stop playlist for songs by all the Doing Jazz guests so far. While on iTunes, please rate the show, leave a comment, and share the show with your loved ones. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I present Gil Defay. In your face. Gil Defay.
Yes.
Welcome to Doing Jazz.
Hi. Hi, everybody at Doing Jazz. Hi, Lawrence.
Good. Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir.
I have been listening to your record and I've been reading up about you because we're just meeting for purpose of full disclosure, but it feels like I've known you, for the little while you've been here. I just feel like
Good.
I've been knowing you for a while. Yeah. You've worked with a bunch of folks, like across the genres. You've worked with Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
You've worked with Jennifer Lopez, Ariana Grande, Wyclef, Wynton Marsalis, Jimmy Cobb.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a chance to do shows sharing the bills with all of these people.
Yeah.
But the Mariah one is a great story.
Nice.
And I'm going to tell you that story.
Yes, I want to hear.
And you guys, Lawrence is going to laugh at you people listening. You're going to laugh too. So what happened was a good friend of mine, Courtney Bradley, who was a choir director at a church that we all knew.
Yeah.
That we would go play called True Worship Church in Brooklyn. And it was under the leadership of the late Dr. Clarence Keaton. So long story short, Clarence Keaton is the one who married Mariah and Nick Cannon.
Oh, okay.
So, and so of course she knew about the church and she knows Courtney. And Courtney was the choir director. Now at the time we were musical director, me and my good friend Patrick Pettissier, we're Courtney Bradley's musical directors. Yeah. So Courtney asked us one day, hey, you guys want to sing with Mariah? Mariah's going to use us for a couple of shows. So it's actually singing. You're going to laugh.
Wow.
So I said, why not? Now here was the plot. The plot was, we didn't really want to sing with Mariah. The plot was to get in there and see how they do the shows behind the scenes.
Oh.
So our plot was like a covert mission.
Yeah.
You know, so we would act like, you know, so we went to the choir rehearsals. You know, we used to sing back in the day, so we could sing good enough. So we did all the tenor parts. We would sing, you know, fly like a bird. You know, we did all the parts. So it's like, yeah, Mariah came by. Some of her people came by, said, yeah, the choir sounds good, so good. So we did Good Morning America, and we also did for the Emancipation of Mimi tour.
Yeah.
The DVD that she has out, I'm actually on the DVD walking out on the stage when the choir is singing.
Wow.
And we got to it. Now here's what's funny. As we got there, the plan was, you know, okay, cool, we're there, yeah, you know, hey, yeah, choir girl. So now we snuck, this is what we did, and I've been doing this since I was a little kid, I'm so crazy. We snuck away from the choir. We in Madison Square Garden for real.
Yeah.
You know, we were in a place in the back.
When you say we, who do you mean?
Okay, well, when
you
I say
and your
we,
friends?
well, we the choir.
Okay.
Yeah. So we the choir. You know, of course, myself and, you know, also my
Okay,
partner,
so the church choir is merging with Mariah's choir.
Yeah,
okay.
yes. So, because Mariah had the songs "Fly Like a Bird."
I know that song. It's
And
an
she-
Emancipation of Me. I think it's the last track.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
enjoyed
You know
that
what I'm
song,
talking about.
And one of somebody spoke in it.
That's Pastor Clean.
Okay,
That's Pastor
okay.
Clean. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
That was him who said, "Weeping may endure for a
Yes.
night." That's it,
Oh,
but joy
yeah,
comes.
yeah.
So it's him. And
She killed it. That
Yeah,
song,
she did.
yeah.
Mariah, everybody needs to know. Listen, Mariah's not a game. She hasn't been a game for a long time. We have to respect her. You know. And then the other song was "Make It Happen."
Yes, yeah.
So, you know, we got there. So when I did get in there and stuff, you know, I've been, like I said, I've always been crazy since I was a kid. I snuck away from the choir. Snuck away from the choir, snuck away from it. And we got a chance to see how they put the show together behind the scenes. So as he snuck away, we went to the kind of the back of where the stage was, on, you know, in the gardens. I mean, it was packed. About 20-something thousand people, you know, the gardens packed. And then, you know, behind the scenes, so I got a chance to go to, when they do the production, and you saw, they were using a lot of digital performer at the time.
Yeah.
You know, had the mic set up in different ways. Digital performer / with Pro Tools and all these things. So, you know, that's what we were into because I produce as well. So I want to see how they put these big shows together. You know, I said what they do, and so we did. And it was like, okay, cool. So we didn't care about the choir. I didn't really care about singing. I just did all the rehearsals just to get in to see what is it that it takes behind the scenes to put this kind of show together, production wise. So as we did, here's what's funny. I went back to the room. I probably shouldn't have done that. I went back to the, and I'm gonna tell you why. I went back to the choir room.
Okay.
Remember, the you know, the objective is not to sing with the choir; it's to hang with the producers. You know, that was the objective. You know, everybody's there. The Locks were there. Diddy was there. The Brat. You know, all the people that Mariah, you know, did. You know,
JD.
I don't know if Jay-Z was there, but like most of the people that you see Mariah do.
What's the guy that produced one of the guys?
Yeah, Jermaine Dupri.
He
was there too. All these people were there.
Yeah, that album had like 100 producers.
Yeah, you remember. I have to tell you. That's why I said we gotta respect Mariah, man. So, as we were back in the room, it was the funniest thing. What happens? Makeup and wardrobe came in the room.
Wow.
And when makeup wardrobe came in the room, they said, "Okay, everybody, let's go." And they came to me. Remember, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to sing. I'm really not trying to sing. So makeup says, "Lift up your hands." I said, "Okay." What they do, they put the choir robe on me and powder.
Oh my God.
Makeup, and I was like, "Oh no, they got me. I should have stayed out longer." And then you see, like, you know, the guys come in and they say, "Okay, guys, about, you know, 2 minutes to the set. Okay, guys," and then they come back and, "Okay, about 30 seconds. Okay, everybody form a line. We're going to," and I was like, "Oh no, we're going to sing." And then, you know, you hear them weeping, man.
Yeah.
And then guess what? We're coming on the stage, you know, and guess what? I sang.
Yeah.
And I'm on the DVD.
Yeah.
And that's how we get a chance to do that with Mariah.
That's awesome.
Crazy stuff.
Carry
And
me
Mariah,
higher.
yeah, you take me higher. We have to do all that, you know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a fun story.
Yeah, I'm telling
Sorry
you.
for generations.
I'm telling you. And then
Yeah.
so when people say, I'm like, yo, it's great. And then, you know, anybody who's a I'll show you. I'll be like, look at me. You see, that's when you walk in. And we know, shout out to one of our good friends, Marianne Tatum. Marianne Tatum Shields. She's one of our good friends. She also used to sing with Courtney.
Oh,
But
okay.
she's also Mariah's like good, like one of her best friends that sings
Oh,
background
okay.
for years as well.
Oh, okay.
And does a lot of, you know, great stuff in the industry as well. So, you know, that's one of our friends. So that's my crazy Mariah Carey story.
Nice. That's a story to to take through generations. Like I said, yeah. Where's Mariah from? Long Island?
I think Mariah's from here in New York.
Yeah, like
She's
where in
from
New
here.
York is she
I don't
from?
know. I don't know if
Okay.
it's Long Island or Manhattan. But
Oh,
I know she's
okay.
definitely from New York, though.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
New Yorker.
Cool. How about the jazz cats you've played with? Have you had any kind of memorable experience, or have you gotten any advice from any of them?
Winston Marsalis.
Okay.
Winston Marsalis is obviously super virtuoso, you know, but it's a guy I really looked up to. Well, I looked up to him for many reasons.
Yeah.
I have a brother that plays saxophone as well.
Okay.
So when I was coming up, see, I have to tell you the story. I have to give you the backstory.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's the backstory. When I was young, my first instrument was the drums. Right? So, and I come from the church, you know, my father's pastor and all that. So the instrument, the drums, and I was getting good. I'm about 14 years old, getting pretty good at it. Now, we had our house in Queens, and the drum set was in the den. So I'm practicing. But remember, it's a live acoustic drum set. So I'm getting good. After, you know, a little bit, you know, a couple weeks in, you know, because I was, even before then, I was practicing at church, but now I finally got to get, because they bought a new drum set, so they let me have the old one and I could practice at home. A couple weeks in, maybe about a week, you know, a couple weeks, maybe a month, they said, "Hey, Gil." I said, "Yeah, can we borrow your drum set?" Because they wanted to borrow a drum set for our banquet, church banquet. I said, "Okay, no problem." And they took the drum set, and I'm like, "Okay." A couple of days later, I don't see my drum set.
Oh,
a week later, I don't see my drum set. 2 weeks later, man, they sold my drum set.
what?
Yeah, they sold the drum set, man. I was so mad.
What?
Yeah, so guess what? That was the first. So that's. I mean, I still could play drums a little bit too, but I was like, I really wanted to be a drummer. That was my thing. You know, I mean, and you know, before drums, I mean, after that, I did a little bit. This is crazy. I did basketball.
Okay.
I was like, I'm gonna go to the NBA. That was my thing. You know.
Yeah.
You know, like at the time when you know I ain't the skinniest guy.
Yeah. But you have dreams when you're young.
Yeah.
But that's what allows you to flourish and pick one eventually. Yeah.
So now here's the thing. So here's the thing with the basketball thing, and I'm gonna get to how the trumpet kind of into it. So after that, so I was about 14. So after that, you know, for a little bit, I was into rapping.
Okay.
You know, but I was into playing basketball. You know, and I did Junior Knicks League. I did Kenny Anderson tournament. Like I was playing basketball. Like I was really trying to like ball. Yeah. You know, and it was cool. And you know, the big guys I would look up to is like Charles Barkley and like Oliver Miller, yo, because they were the skinniest guys, but they could really play. Yeah. You know. And then what ended up happening was I got into the hip hop thing for a little bit. Now again, I have to relate. Father's pastor, you know, from church. So I can sneak in. You could kind of get away with some studio stuff, but it would be hard to tell my dad, Papi, I have a show doing what? Hip hop, what? You know, so and here's what's funny about that. So we got a chance to be, you know, in D&D studios. You know, we got a session over there, and you know, different places. You know, D&D studios is where Fat Joe, Silver Weston, like a lot of the hip hop like royalty would be at that studio, but it couldn't relate. It couldn't translate. I couldn't transition into the hip hop thing all the way, just because of that. It would have been hard. Like my dad would be like, "Nah, have it," you know. Yeah. Because sometimes when he was at church, I'm having a crazy hip hop party in my house, and he come back home and I'm not watching, and he'd be like, "What are you doing?" You know? So here's the funny thing. So now you got to think about it. So we're talking about hip hop, we're talking about basketball. Yeah. You know, all these things is related. Finally, around my 18th birthday, right? 18th, 19th birthday. My brother's been playing saxophone for a little bit, and they asked me what instrument do I want to play, and my focus was, in fact, my answer went just like this: the drums or the trumpet. So as you can see, my focus was still back on the drums. I wanted to play the drums. Yeah. Man, 2 weeks later, they got me a trumpet. And they never took it away from me. Wow. And that's how I stuck with trumpet. And then, you know, my brother's playing, so I'm listening to like a lot of Charlie Parker and Diz and a lot of like Art Blakey and Jazz Ventures. And I'm going to get back to Wayne. That's how we get back to Wayne. And because we're brothers, so I would see who are brothers in the scene that made an impact. And, you know, one of the big influences for us was Cannibal Adderley and Nat Adderley and in Branford. Yeah. You know, both, you know, so that's how, so you see how it relates, it comes full circle. So, you know, Cannibal and that, Cannibal is like my favorite alto saxophone. At least, you know, that comes from that, you know, that generation. And Nat is super virtuoso and very soulful cornet / trumpet player to play together, and they have a synergy that's crazy. And then and even like Charlie Parker and Dizzy, it's kind of like brothers as far as especially what you hear in the recordings and how they would even interact, on stage, off stage, and in Branford. So this is how the Witten thing comes in.
I see.
So now at this time,
Branford plays saxophone.
Yeah, exactly. Branford plays. Branford is playing tenor saxophone.
Yeah.
He played a little alto early, especially like in that story. In fact, with the jazz majors, I love that story.
Yeah.
Because they had asked for him to play baritone or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, I can, whatever." And he just brought it alto. Then he had to play alto for like a lot of those days. But yeah, those are my favorite. Like Branford, like one of like super big influences. So one time, we were trying to get a gig. We're trying to get a gig at this place called Perks in Harlem. And so at the time, the guy who was running it was a good friend of ours, Reggie Hines. Victor Wise was on drums. And it was a spot, it was like one of the popping spots.
Yeah, what's the name again?
Perks.
Okay, it's
Perks.
no longer there.
I don't know if it's still there.
Okay.
I don't know if it's still there in Harlem. Yeah, Perks. It's like kind of like right around the corner from the Magic Johnson Theater. It was around there. It was like in the cut over there. And so we would go weekly, faithfully. Go hang out with Reggie, and it's kind of cool because we come through as a team.
Yeah.
It was me, my brother, and my guy that's like my cousin, Matthew Smythe, who also plays in my band. Now Matthew's crazy because Matthew plays organ and keys in my band. But Matthew's also a good trumpet player. We met in school. I mean, as far as the music thing again, was I even know that he played trumpet and keys.
Wow!
I'm like, yo, you didn't even
big combination.
You let us know. So anyways. Fast forward. So now when we come to the jam sessions, it's me, my brother Matt. So we come as a horn section.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. So now you come horn section in the it's like pop top 40, singers and live instruments.
Yeah.
And so that's how we do. And we're trying to get a gig. So we come in faithfully every week. We say, hey man, we're available. Nobody would call. One day, it was a day that everybody was kind of on fire that day. It sounded good. Everybody was killing. Solos was cool. As a horn section on the spot, we were doing our thing. And somebody came to us real drunk. Oh, y'all boys think y'all bad. Y'all boys think y'all, I'm going to get my friend waiting to come and kick y'all.
Wow.
And I'm going to say just the way he said, my friend waiting to come and kick y'all, And I was like, man, who is this drunk guy?
Yeah.
Come and get out of here. Like he knows waiting for real. Please get out of here. The drunk guy's got to come in. Man, we went outside. Taking a little break. The cab pulls up. Okay. I see the case come out the door. And I'm like, no. Then I see the leg come out the door. Clean shoes, clean.
Yeah.
And guess what? Coming out the cab is Witten for real. And I'm like, whoa. And we're standing in front. And Witten knows, he could just see that, I'm wearing all like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And he comes right to us. Gives us dap like he knows us for years. Yeah. Gives the dap. We say dap out here in New York. Dap and a hug. So he gives a handshake and a hug to everybody. He goes, "What's up, y'all, man?" He said, and what's funny? He's coming to the spot that he don't come to all the time. I said, "Come on, y'all, let's go inside." So we like, okay, we go inside, and it looks like we've been knowing him for years. Yeah. So we all walking together, and he goes, "Y'all want to play?" Now here's the funny thing: we had already fans playing. The band had already broken down. Yeah. Because when it came back, we brought the drums right back up from downstairs, and then helped the guys set their stuff back up, and we did like a whole nother set.
He lived in New York then, right?
Yeah. I think Witten still lives here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
then he was like really involved in the Lincoln Center.
Yeah,
then?
he still is. He still is. He still is very much so. So what happened with that was then we started playing, and you gotta understand, you're playing with one of the greatest. Not just trumpet musicians in the whole world. Yeah. So it's gonna make you play things that you thought you could never play, that you never knew. So we were playing. We were really playing, and the crowd was loving it. The next day, well, even before the next day, we're talking to Wayne. Wayne would say things like, "Hey man, you guys got no Cherokee and all 12 keys and stuff like. This is what will help you." Yeah. And he would show me different ways to play, like right on the spot, like in between breaks. He was, and like I was like, "Wow, man, Wayne's taking time. He's so cool, man." And then he would just play it in different keys and show us different things like right in front of us, like on the side. And it was cool. That was a wonderful night. Everything went well. The next day, the same club
Yeah.
that we were trying to get a gig at for all this time. Hey, how you doing? Is this Gil? Yeah, how you doing? Man, we wonder you guys want to date in the club, and we ended up getting a gig. And we played there
That's
for.
awesome.
We had a residency
See?
there for a little bit. You know,
never know.
and that's
you
how it happened.
never know when it happens. You
and
never know.
still to this day, if I see Wayne, man, I'm always gonna show him love. That's like, you know,
That's awesome.
he's a big brother to so many of us. And, you know,
Yeah, and
so many of us.
those little things that those kind of legends show you, like they might just spend 5 minutes showing you something, but you remember those things for the rest of your life.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Nice.
Because these are things that, you know, these are things that are like, you know, they're like stepping stones to your journey.
Yeah.
You know? And a lot of these things, like, you know, getting a chance. Witten said some crazy stuff. Witten also said to me, learn how to romance a woman. That's the, you know, nice way. You know? But he would say, but, you know, because, you know why? It might look like it's funny, but as you're younger, he's trying to explain to you things about life.
Yeah.
These things will actually help
your music.
Your music, and it'll help you relate to the crowd in a different way.
Tell
you know?
your
And,
story.
and he was saying, cause remember at the time we're young, I'm like 19, 20, you know. It's funny, I haven't even played that trumpet that long, but I'm just trying to do my best. Now, how does that work? Imagine, I got the trumpet at 19. I started, the same year I really started getting serious about trumpet, the same year I went to college for trumpet. How did that work? You know how did that work? The funniest thing is, I don't even know anything about theory at the time.
You were just playing from what you knew from church.
Yeah, exactly. From church and just from my ears. So I thought there were two scales. The white scale and the black scale. All the white keys and all the black keys.
But guess what though? Sorry to cut you short.
Go ahead.
It kind of makes sense though, because there are, like, even in the church, there are people who just play every song in the black key. Like any song you sing, they figure out how to play it in the key of either A minor or in the key of F sharp.
Yep, it's true.
And it works for everything. They figure out a way to, like, they added few white notes. So that's the black scale.
I guess, you know,
right there.
In fact, you know what? Let's talk about what you just said. This is very important to me, what you just said. I always talk about God. I always say, you know, God is good. You know, I always say, you know, I ain't nothing good without God. I ain't nothing good. You know, I believe in Jesus. I'm nothing good without that. But the thing I want to talk about with that, as far as the church thing, this is what makes it for me really God-given talent.
Yeah.
Because guys are playing in all 12 keys and they can't explain what they're playing.
Yeah.
And a singer could sing, a singer could be changing keys within the song and they just they just kind of find it.
Yeah.
If you ask them, what did you do? They can't explain it to you.
I don't know, I just had it.
That's God-given.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You can't even, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
My goal though was to merge those worlds in my music. Everything I learned from church, but at the same time, be able to define it. That's where school and stuff comes in. Now we're getting back to how did I get into passing my audition at LIU. So at the time, I'm going to audition at LIU because, you know, I want to go to college, you know, and, you know, with my brother and all stuff. Yeah. And I was already kind of taking some classes from 18. From you know,
LIU is Long Island University.
Brooklyn, the Brooklyn campus.
Yeah.
So when I did my audition, here's the funny thing. So like from 18 into 19, I went in. Here's the funny thing. I'm telling you from before, hip hop was my thing. It still is. You know, I listen like a lot, you know, especially old school. And drums. So rhythm was my thing. So when I would play the trumpet, I figured out how to move the pistons and give the airflow to do some cool rhythms. But remember, I'm only thinking it's a white scale or black scale.
Yeah.
And at the same time, when guys would really start playing like a lot of 30 seconds and 64, I'm thinking, oh man, they're going into the infinity thing. That's the infinity realm. You know, why they bring infinity? Because I didn't really know. So when I did my audition, I just played a lot of rhythm and stuff. And it sounded so cool to the professors. And it was like, okay, he passed the audition. Let's get him in. Man, I'm coming into... Oh, you know why it's crazy? Because they're professionals in school. And, you know, even though the kids are students, but they're professionals at the same time because they're gigging. And I'm learning for the first time major scale, minor scale, dominant 7 scale. But guess what? I'm in big band and I see something that says B, little b, triangle. And then I see and a little b, 13. I'm like, what the heck is that? You know, I'm like, what is that? You know, I'm seeing D, you know, minus sign, number 11. You know, I'm like, what is that? Man. So here's the funny thing. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
You say you teach math.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny. One of my good friends, shout out to him, Marcus Miller. He merges those worlds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he learned math at Harvard,
Yeah.
and he's a great.
Marcus Miller is a bassist.
Yeah, Marcus.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Marcus Miller.
That's true. Marcus,
yeah, he's
Marcus
actually,
Miller is. I know him. He's a sax.
Yeah, that's my
player.
good
Yeah.
friend. Him.
I've seen him play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him play. He did something at MoMA.
Yeah, MoMA. He still does.
Museum.
He's like a genius with this math thing. He's like amazing. Like he's into like physics and math and all the different theories,
Nice.
but he combines it with music to make it cool for people who
Yeah.
He merges those worlds. So long story short, the math thing. How did I this is how I got into the music for understanding. Two things happened. First thing happened actually was when my first trumpet teacher was Eddie Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Allen, great trumpet player, very good educator, very good teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Taught me foundation and groove and and sound and all these things. But one of the main things that he taught me, which was amazing, was the blues. And the thing is, as far as he taught me the blues in a fundamental jazz form,
Yeah.
As far as with the 2/5s and the 3/6s and all that, but I didn't know none of that stuff. So we would be in our, lessons, me and him in the piano room, and he'd go, okay, blues, F blues, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and I'd play with no accompaniment. Now I don't know what I'm playing. I'm just playing a whole lot of F. No changes, no nothing. Eventually he stopped me, said, man, what the are you doing, bro? I said, what do you mean I'm playing? He said, you ain't playing. He said, where's the changes? Where's the 2/5? And he would show it to me. And he would show me the 1/4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 4 1. And he showed me where the turnarounds were. By the time he finished showing me that, my ears was like, it's kind of like the Matrix. Like I was able to be like Neo and see like,
Yeah.
and I would hear changes on anything. Anything that was on the radio, I could hear, this is what it is. Now I'm going to tell you how that also happened, because from then when he showed me those changes in the blues, I had to find out how am I going to be able to do and understand what, F triangle 13, what does that mean? Or F triangle 6/9. So what I did was I sat at the piano and I said, this is what I'm saying about where math comes in. First a 1, whatever key this is, whatever this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is what they mean when they say D major 9. Or C major 9.
Wow.
That's means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So that's what the chord is now. And I sat down with myself and I would do that with myself every day. And just be at the piano and just do it. I still play keys and I play keys at church and all from production and different stuff. And so I would just, and then my ears open up.
But by then your ears had already been trained for years.
Exactly.
Though. So
but and this is the thing too, and this is also, for me, what I encourage, church musicians and also, like me, and also musicians who come from world music, and just different backgrounds where they don't teach you, let's say, theory of the music. Learn to have the theory behind what you have. Yeah. That way you can teach easy for somebody who wants to learn things from that perspective. And now for me, when I teach, I teach very easy because I understand both of those worlds. Nice. So in understanding both of those worlds, I can you relate to, if you have no idea about theory, okay, this is what this means. Yeah. If you have a good theory, okay, this is what this means. Yeah. And then you kind of combine it with,
nice. Yeah.
And that helps out a lot.
Good. Let's talk about your album.
Go ahead.
Yeah. It's called It's All Love.
It's All Love.
It's All Love. I like it.
It's all love, baby.
Yeah, it's all love, baby. Do you want to give us an overview of the theme of the album?
Yeah. Here's the thing. You know why I call it All Love? It's not even like a cliche or anything. I would always say that. That's one of my phrases. When somebody say, "What's up, Gil? How you doing, man?" I said, "Yo, you already know, man. It's all love." I would always say that. And it's sometimes some people try to find the most obscure kind of name to give their record,
I see.
And so they'll say, stratospherical star. Yeah, so it's like, I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I try. I said, Gil, what's something that you always say? I always say it's all love. And I was like, you know what, that's me. One of the things, like you're saying, so here's the overview of the album. So that came up with the name. But the album, truthfully, is just a mix and a blend of what I am.
Yes. Yeah. I
You
see
know?
that. Yeah.
You're gonna get a little bit of the church thing. You're gonna get a little bit of classic Black American music. You're gonna get world music.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of R&B. That's who I am. That's like all from the music that I've done and grew up with. That's my foundation.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do an album that represents who I am.
Yes. Yeah.
And in that, relate the message that it's all love.
Like I was listening to it, I'm like, this is very rich, and this is somebody who is it tells the story of somebody who knows where he is in music and is so comfortable to just give it all. That's what I felt. You were not trying to do the most some new jazz albums. Some people are just trying to be so theoretical, like they be switching time signatures and stuff. I'm like, this is good listening, very strong jazz foundation.
Yeah.
At the same time, very, very good for the soul.
Yeah, it's
so it's all up.
Exactly. You see how you start saying the phrase "it's all up," and that's the thing. Like, a couple of things. One of the things I notice a lot of times with different music is like, let's say you're on a date. Mm-hmm. You're on a date with with your girl, your wife, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you bring her to a club to see some live music. Mm-hmm. Let's say it's jazz or whatever you want to call it, If you see that she can't bob her head and she can't relate, it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to see what's the problem. This is why, God bless him, man, especially when he was here, Roy Hargrove, unfortunately we just lost. Roy was a big influence, on a lot of us, on me and so many folks. I have one of the stories. I was playing his mouthpiece for like 9 years from a horn that I bought from somebody that was working at Spoils back then. And Roy gave him the mouthpiece. Wow. And when I got the horn, he was like, "Yo, man, you want the mouthpiece?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "This is Roy's mouthpiece." And I was like, and it's crazy. So I was playing. So like Roy's, and not just that, I love his music. So he's been part of like a big influence for me for a long time. And Roy did that. When Roy was playing bebop, he played bebop. When he playing hard bop, he's playing hard bop. Yeah. But when he's playing like groove music, that's like some hip hop. He's he's playing the hip hop stuff. He's playing the R&B stuff. He's playing R&B stuff, and he's, to me, is one of the great representations of good music.
Yeah.
We met Wayne Shorter. That's another funny story, man. I'm always sneaking in someplace. 1999. We were. I was bad in school when I was young, man. I wasn't super bad. I just like to have fun.
Yeah, but you were a musician and you knew you were going to be a musician. So.
And this is the thing. And what happened is, so eventually I was popular in school, so popular. Like I couldn't leave my house. One time my mom was like, "You know what? There's something I'm going to leave." And I was, oh man. She left the house with me. And by the time I went from the house to the school, I must have said what's up to like maybe 150, 200 people. Easy. Wow. Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah. Here's another funny story. I get on the bus with her. And like we have cars, and she wants to take my route because she wants to be. I'm gonna go with you. I want to see everything. Oh man! So we got on the bus. We got to one of the stops, and like this is the stop where I know the girls get on the bus. The girls that I know, and the girl on the bus get, "Hi, kid, what's up?" So one girl comes on my left, one girl comes to the right. They kiss me, and then they sit on my lap, and my mom goes, "So this is how you do our sons in the streets." And I was like, so that was the day I just was real straight when they kissed me. I was like. So what I'm saying is because eventually she was like, "You know what? I'm gonna put you in an alternative school." So she put me in City Ed school. Okay. She actually did the same thing for my brother do before because my brother's older than me. He's like 4 years older than me. So I went to the same. So I went to City Ed, and what City Ed school would do is you would actually have to intern for the credit for whatever subject you were with. Yeah. So if it was history, you might do an intern at the Museum of Natural History or something like that. You'd intern there. Or if it was like, social studies, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Math, whatever, you might be at the moment, that kind of stuff. So that's what I did. So one of the places I had to intern at was Harlem School of the Arts. So which it covered different, credits, language arts and different stuff, Harlem School. So these covered those credits. Yeah. When I was at Harlem School of Arts, at this time I'm like messing around, the trumpet, like I said, because it's like I did that for like my last year to go into college. That's how I got from that school into college credits into going in. Yeah. And so I was in the school. I remember, Harlem School of Arts in Harlem. J.D. Perrin, His name is Jay Perrin. I remember Jay Perrin and Max Bertrand. But Jay Perrin was one of the guys that would have students get hooked up to go volunteer at the IAJ. So I was there, of course, my brother too.
You said IAJ?
IAJE.
IAJE.
The International Association of Jazz Educators Conference.
Okay.
That's when it was, big. Yeah. So this year he says, "Hey man, you guys want to volunteer?" And I'm like, everybody's at the IAJ. Everybody from Marcus Miller to Branford Marsalis to Witten to everybody, Michael Breck, everybody, Randy, all the guys. So I'm like, yeah. Same thing. Remember I told you about the Mariah story? This is the same story. So here was the goal. We would have to be there early in the morning, maybe sometimes 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock. Somewhere between, 8 and 9 to help set up chairs and tables for the bands. Yeah. The artists, big bands, different artists, help set up the stages. You know what we used to do? We would get there and we would work for about 15 minutes. It was at the Marriott in Midtown. And then we would sneak away. Yesterday, we go to every single performance. And that was my thing. I want to see how do they put these things together. So I've been doing that for a long time. Yeah. So we did the same thing, snuck away, and then we went to all the different conferences. And of course, we can go because we got our badge that says volunteers, so we have access to everywhere. And that's what I did, And that's part of the education as far as things that I was learning, from back then and that kind of stuff, Okay. So which was cool.
That's cool. Wow. A lot of stories.
You.
Let's talk about some songs from your album.
Go ahead.
There's the one that really got me immediately was Le Cri. Is that how you pronounce it?
Le Cri.
Le Cri. Okay.
Le Cri, yeah.
Okay.
So you know what? I'm going to talk to you about Le Cri.
Yeah.
Le Cri. This is a great. I'm telling you, great story. Well, this is actually truth. Le Cri is a song that we learned coming up in the Haitian church. Le Cri is a Haitian hymn. It's a Haitian hymn, So, but I'm realizing sometimes in the hymns, especially in Caribbean hymns, they borrow from other cultures. I didn't know until later. I'm going to explain to you how. So Le Cri is a hymn that we would sing. Beautiful. And then we would do it, the way I like it is in the way I did it. Carnival kind of style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Carnival kind of party kind of style. Some people do it slow, but I like the way I did it. I kind of wanted to put a spin on it where you hear this song, but it makes you want to dance. And you kind of feel like you're in a carnival kind of vibe. So it's a mixture of the Jewish culture. You'll hear in the Jewish national anthem mixed with Haitian Caribbean culture and African culture. So that combined together made the song. But how did I find this out? Of course, I'm watching the Olympics, and one of the years Israel won something, and I'm hearing the same melody, and I'm like, yo, is that the Israel national anthem? But we've been singing it since I was a kid in the church, you know what I mean? Yeah. But of course they don't do it, they do it slow. Yeah. They do it slow, so I'm not used, And then so another time we were I was someplace playing and they were doing something and they were doing something in the minor key and I quoted that. And all the Jewish people came to me and just started giving me hugs and kisses and it was like, thank you for playing my national anthem. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the same time, there's a spiritual part of it because it's like basically the song is saying, the cry of my soul, Lord, stay with me, don't leave me, I need you. Yeah. That's basically what the song is saying. So, I took that and kind of mixed those four, and that's basically how it came about. So now when it comes about, it actually brings the cultures together. So now I have, Jewish people, Haitian people, but then African people, and people just in general who like to hear carnival style music, you know what I'm saying? And it combines that whole thing together.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, bro.
Another one is the lean.
The lean.
Yeah.
So
What's up with the name?
okay, this is how I came up with the lean. The lean. You know, when guys are being cool,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I used to do that. Sometimes, you know, we might do a little pose, might do a little whatever.
Ah, okay.
So you already see where I'm going at. You know,
Yeah.
so sometimes, you know, you might, you know, be on your chill, you
Yeah,
kind of lean
just
on
lean.
the wall, or you kind of got a little pose, you know,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
see.
called, you know, or you might lean on the stoop or whatever.
Mm.
So it's called a lean. It's a vibe, like, you know, just kind of laying back and just.
I just.
Now, how to come up with the song? It's funny. Black keys. So once I was, you know, at the keyboard, you know, but at the same time, this time I understood, you know, theory and stuff. But I was just messing with the rhythm, and I kind of liked the way it sounded. And I said, you know what? How about I create a song where the bass line is the melody, where the melody is the bass line,
Yeah.
and where it doesn't even feel like it's, you know, two different things. It just feels like you still hear the bass line, you still hear the melody, and that's how basically I came with that song. And then threw a bridge to it, you know, to give it a little bit of, you know,
Nice.
you know, got that bridge in there,
Yeah.
you know, give it another flavor and go back to, you know, mixing it up. And Miles Davis, of course. You know, Miles is a big influence on me too. So, you know, Miles, Freddie, Woody, Roy, Nick, Roy, Dizzy. I mean, it goes, the list is long. But that's how that came about, you know?
Okay.
So
That's
that's
a
what
really
it was.
good song. Really good song.
That's a vibe. It's like kind of gives me that, you know, the Miles 80s, you know, my late 80s, Miles doing the kind of the cool thing, the Marcus Miller.
Yeah.
That was the vibe.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a big influence on me too. So I kind of came up with that, and that's basically how that, you know, came about.
Awesome. The last one I want to talk about. In fact, I enjoy all the songs, but I have time for only 3. What a Friend.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a church song.
Of course.
That you brought it to the mainstream. The way
You know,
the way you guys did it, it's cool. It's really impressive.
I'll tell you about that. So what happened with What a Friend is, so many people do that song. Just like a lot of people do Amazing Grace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if you ain't church, man, we
And
saw
Over
Bob,
the Rainbow and
yeah,
a lot
Over the
of
Rainbow,
other-
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
So,
But last night we saw Bob James because Bob James was on, you know, before we had the late set.
Yeah.
And Bob James played Amazing Grace in the middle of his set, you know. Bob James, Angela, Taxi, you know, Westchester, Bob James,
Yeah.
OG. You know, he called, you know, one of the masters. And so many people do With a Friend. And I was like, you know what? I want to throw a twist on this song, but that's sincere and good vibes, but it makes it sound like a new thing, a different thing. So it's like you're relating to something that's new that you're hearing, but of course you relate because you know the melody.
Yeah.
But the arrangement is so different to that melody, so it makes you feel like you're hearing something so fresh.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's what I wanted to tell you, Lawrence. One of the main things I wanted to push with this album is like happiness, love, man. Like, yo, no God, no love, man, no life. Enjoy life, you know, because a lot of records, not for nothing. There's a lot of sad stuff out there.
Yeah.
And it's
But
not,
artists like sad, like to go to the sad side.
Yeah.
But
we need
but
life.
we need
life,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Yeah.
yo, the world right now is a crazy place. It's probably one of the craziest we ever seen.
Yeah.
In
Tell me about
another
it.
kind of light,
Yeah.
you know. And it's like we need to push love, man, and we need to have things that will refresh us and give us, you know, life.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. Even me, I stopped saying y'all killed it. I stopped saying when people come to me and say, yo, you killed it. What did I kill? What am I killing?
It's just a compliment.
Is it music supposed to be giving life? So I came in like I killed everybody. Everybody in the audience is dead. What did I do? I'm a murderer. You know, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give life. You know what I'm saying? That's what the music. You know, Art Blakey said it. You know, he said, you know, music washes away the dust of everyday life. You know, of course I'm saying it in my own way, but that's basically what he was saying. You know, music washes away the dust of everyday life. So you know, if that's what music does, which is a refreshing thing, we need that. He had that in his music as well, with his, you know, with all of his super groups that he had together. So I was like, listen, man, that's what I want to do.
Nice.
You know, and one of the main things too, Lawrence, which is very important. Everything you do in life is a service. Every single gift and talent that you have, it's of service. to somebody else. I can't be selfish with a gift because my gift is supposed to be for somebody else.
Yeah.
So meaning like, do you like bad service? No. When you go to a restaurant, you like for people, you like the waitress, the teacher, right, the waiter, you know, the hostess and everybody, you know? So it's the same way. Like when I'm delivering my music, you know, I want to give it with love. You know, like when you go to, in fact, to be honest with you, African restaurants, Caribbean restaurants, you know, and the restaurants, sometimes some of the better places where they treat you like home. You know? Just like when you go to your grandma's house or your aunt's house, or you go back home, mommy, dad, you know, and then they say, how you doing, son? And they say, you know, mommy made you something, and you sit down and they treat you real nice. It's the same thing, you know. And at the same time, those values, even in the highest business, it's still, you know, they're still, it crosses over. You know? So my thing was, you know, with the music, I want, you know, I understand that this is a service to people. So it's that important to me. Now it's a different thing. I'm looking at it a different perspective. It's not just, you know, I'm trying to be a fly artist or, you know, it's like I'm serving the people with this music. Nice. You know, this music is helping people get through their day, helping them get through their week, you know. It's helping them get through life. You know, by the time they finish your album, it's like, life ain't that bad.
Yeah, that's good.
You know?
I see where you're coming from.
You know, and that's my whole thing, you know, with this, you know. But you asked me about a song, right?
You talked about it. You talked about it. That's, you know, that's my whole thing with everything I do though. It's, you know, music of course is one of the biggest ones, you know, that I do, but it's like I'm trying to come across that with everything. That's what's up. That's what's up.
From my words that come out of my mouth,
I see,
to the notes that come out of my horn, to when I'm playing keys, to everything that I do. So even when I give somebody a handshake, did they feel the love in that handshake?
Nice.
Did they feel the love in that hug? You know, were you sincere about it, or is it just that, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what the world needs more. You know?
Yeah, more love.
It's all love, man.
It's all love, baby. You are listening to Doing Jazz with Lawrence Chuno. The guest on this episode is trumpeter Gil Defay. His new album, It's All Love, is available for download and streaming. If you are on Spotify or iTunes, follow the Doing Jazz playlist, a one-stop playlist for songs by all the Doing Jazz guests so far. I have a question.
Go ahead.
You already mentioned where you're from. You're from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I was born in
maybe
Brooklyn.
I was born in Brooklyn. Okay.
I was born in Brooklyn.
But you've always lived in New York.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was born. My story is so amazing.
Yeah.
I was born in Brooklyn, and I was raised in Queens, but in Brooklyn same time.
Okay.
Why? Because church was in Brooklyn. My dad's church was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So whenever we had anything, church-wise, we'd be in Brooklyn, but our house was in Queens.
Okay.
So I lived in Queens for about a good 24 years.
I see.
You know?
Ah, okay.
But I would still be in Brooklyn like every other day.
I see.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
And be in Brooklyn. So, and that's what. But I'm a New Yorker all the way,
Okay.
man.
As somebody from New York, you have a very interesting perspective of the world. Being a native New Yorker, it's something that people don't talk a lot about because you live in a city where you're from. This is the city where you're born.
Yeah.
But this is the same city where everybody's trying to get to, especially if you're in the arts. You just see people flocking into the city. And it's a city where you learn not to look at anybody as other because more than half of the people, maybe way more than half of the people who live in New York were not born in New York. So it's very, very unique to New York. So my question is this: as a New York musician, what is it? Is there anything you notice amongst musicians who were born here and who grew up here that distinguish you guys from other musicians? I want to know.
People, Lawrence is asking a taboo question. This is taboo. Well, I'm going to tell you. It's definitely a difference. It's definitely a difference. And I'm going to explain to you how. I'm not going to lie. We talk about it all the time. New York, especially when you grew up in the culture, there's a certain speech, there's a certain language that you have, there's a certain way that you know how to relate to each other. And even in the music, there's a certain, bop, there's a certain swing, there's a certain way that you can. I'm not going to lie, man. One of my good friends, Raheem Walker, who I work with all the time, we work, we have residency at, he has a residency at Red Rooster.
Yeah.
We work with him in his band every Monday. We're there, and we do a lot of different engagements with people. He's from New York. He's like a big bro. He's older than me. One of the things is that we talk about all the time. In your playing from New York, if you're really from here, when there was crack in the 80s, that's part of your playing. When there was, riots that was going on, when different, riots going on from different things that happen out here, that's part of your playing. The World Trade Center bombings is part of your playing. All that stuff. But at the same time, the great summers in New York City, part of your playing. The times, in New York City summertime, which is real cool. The hot dogs that people like to go and get. All that stuff is part of your playing. The Statue of Liberty, which represents liberty for everybody to come and celebrate, is part of your playing too. So it has you speak at a different light. But at the same time, New York is a melting pot. So you would have a little bit of Latin culture in your playing, a little bit of African culture in your playing. It's part of it because it's part of your. Like we,
And then sorry to stop you.
Keep going.
A little bit of African culture, a little bit of Caribbean, a little bit of Latin culture, and a whole lot of hip hop.
And a whole lot of that's what I'm saying.
That's something I noticed. Like the New York cats, they're not afraid of going into hip hop and just putting out like a jazz record that is so hip hop inspired. I was talking to a violinist, Majid. I don't know if you know
that's
Majid.
my guy. That's my guy. Majid is what's up, Majid?
I listened to his album. Almost the same kind of vibe as yours. But he's just like he's a jazz violinist. But he releases mixtapes. Like he's fearlessly, he just be putting out mixtapes. In the jazz genre. I just found that I just feel like that's so uniquely New York, like,
Well, it's a part of our culture.
Mm-hmm.
Mixtapes. See, that's what I'm saying. Same
Yeah.
thing. Like I was big into. I was just, back in the day. You get DJ Clue
Yeah.
mixtapes. You get Case. K Slay, and
Mm-hmm.
you get different. You get Dirty Harry mixtapes. This is part of your culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like I said, if you're really from here, you're really
Mm-hmm.
part of that. And you grew up in any of these neighborhoods, it's gonna be a part of what's your sound.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
It's definitely a big influence on me.
Awesome.
Heavy.
Awesome. We're gonna round it up
Okay.
with a game, like a bunch of questions, 3 questions actually. Some of them might be a little difficult,
Okay.
but some might be very easy. Some might be just stupid to you because the answer is so obvious.
Oh wait,
All right.
before you. Oh, now here's the thing.
Okay.
Very important. Although somebody might not be from New York,
Mm-hmm.
you can still come here and get to the culture. Just like anything,
Mm.
you really study it, but you have
Yeah.
to sincerely accept it
Yeah.
and sincerely study
Mm.
so that you can be able to
Yeah.
emulate.
I
That's what
see.
it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like if I go to another country and I don't try to study and I try to play the music,
Yeah.
people are gonna say fraud.
Mm.
You
Because
know what I'm saying?
It
They
shows.
automatic,
Yeah.
But you could actually come in, you could get into it,
Mhm.
just like there are people from different cultures that play certain music that's from different places in
Yeah.
Africa
Yeah.
because they have to sit in it and really study.
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
So you can get to it
Yeah.
too, but there definitely is a difference.
I see. I see. Thanks for clearing that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like as an African,
Mhm.
what I noticed in New York, and which something I'm proud of,
Mm-hmm.
that has been heightened also by Black Panther, but it's been happening way
Yeah.
before Black Panther, is that people in New York are learning to or have appreciated their African
Yeah,
heritage.
embrace the African
Yeah.
culture, yeah.
Like when you're walking in Harlem or in Brooklyn,
Oh, yeah,
everybody
you're going heavy.
Yeah, everybody's just rocking their version of Africanness. Everybody's just like putting out their Africanness.
true.
I'm African in this same way. Even
That's
the
right.
white people are now being
Hey.
being their own version of African.
Exactly.
I just like it. Yeah. Good. Yeah. All right, so I was going to some questions.
ahead.
Yeah, this game is called Turn Up or Mute. I'm just
Okay.
going to give you 2 options. The one you're feeling at the moment, you turn it up.
Okay.
The other one, we mute it. And the one you're muting, it doesn't mean you don't like it. It just means at this point in time, you're feeling one of them and you got to turn it up.
Okay.
All right. You ready? Brooklyn, Queens. Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that?
Oh man,
You lived in Queens for 24 years.
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
tell you because Queens is so quiet.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
But
Yeah.
Queens, don't sleep. Queens has its own culture. Like,
Okay.
Queens has its own kind of turn up. But 2 things. Brooklyn, I'm going to be honest with you. It's just because a lot of my culture, as far as the music, I was living in Queens. I got to go to rehearsal in Brooklyn.
Okay.
I had to do a
see.
lot of stuff in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Churches in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn is closer to the city and all that kind of stuff for me, as far as traveling wise. But Queens, when I would go back to Queens, I go back to my parents' house. That's when I would actually relax.
I see.
We would, because we used to live in Queensville, so I would actually go chill and relax. But sometimes when I be in Queens, I feel like I gotta get out of here. I'm relaxing too much. What am I doing? I gotta,
I see.
So that's the. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. This is my.
Keep going.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
Wynton Marsalis, Sean Jones.
Wynton is my big bro, man. I gotta go with it.
Okay, but you know Sean Jones,
However,
right? Okay.
I mean, I got a chance to share stage
Yeah.
with Sean. Different
Yeah.
jam sets
Yeah.
and stuff. Sean is another cat.
Yeah.
Sean I like too because Sean represents the same kind of thing. Sean represents church and gospel, and Black American culture from different, and he brings that together. Sean too, But I can remember when it had something on me, the brothers thing I was telling you.
Yeah.
So from way before, part of my foundation, not just a brothers thing, a family thing.
Yeah.
It's Branford, it's Winton, it's Delfeo, it's Jason, it's Ellis. These guys are a royal family, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of jazz and Black American music, So I'm like, yo, they're gonna have a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
That's just it's what it is.
That's cool. But you know of Sean.
Of course,
right?
I know
Okay.
Sean.
Yeah,
Sean is, a big homie to all.
Yeah.
To a lot of us.
He teaches. I don't know if he still teaches at Duquesne University, my alma mater, where I got my undergraduate degree.
Yeah,
So he's big in Pittsburgh. I used to
he
live
was
in Pittsburgh.
Duquesne. I think he might be in Maryland now. I think
Oh,
he might be in a
okay.
program with Warren Wolf
Okay.
and some of the guys over there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Sean's a
Oh,
great teacher too as well.
nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The last one. This is two songs from your album, Two of Your Kids. Be careful. Deep Bros Groove
Uh-huh.
or Deep Bros Blues.
Ooh. I'm gonna be honest with you. It depends on how I'm feeling. Depends on how I'm feeling.
Well, you got to choose one. How you feeling now? Don't. I already gave you
Okay,
my
I'm feeling-
answer. I already gave you my answer. So don't be swayed by how I feel.
Okay. How I'm feeling
Yeah.
right now, like
Yeah.
this very second.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm feeling D Rose Blues.
Blues. Okay.
And I'll explain to you why. Because I'm happy, man.
Okay.
D Rose Groove
Yeah.
is a little bit of the New York vibe.
Mm.
You know? It's a little bit of New York vibe with a little bit of a tension release. That's where the bridge is. That's
Yeah.
where the groove and the bridge comes.
Okay.
But it's a little bit, you know, it's in the beginning got that little bit of gangster, that kind of thing.
Okay.
D Rose Blues is kind of mixing a bunch of different kind of cultures.
Yeah.
D Rose Blues is mixing New Orleans,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
New York City. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And you know, just a little bit out, a little bit of second line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and playing together, all that kind of stuff, and just happiness within everybody too.
Nice.
Right now, that's how I'm feeling right now.
Great.
It's
Great.
very second.
Yeah. Nice.
But of course, I love all my music people.
Of
Hey, don't get it
course.
twisted.
Of course. But we're gonna make you choose one. Yeah. All right. Gil Defay. Defay, right?
Yeah, Defy.
Defy.
Or the proper, I don't want to say
Yeah,
proper,
yeah.
but native tongue is Defy.
Defy. Okay.
Yeah, Defy.
Gil Defy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And of course, you know, people call me Gil XL. That's my, you know, that's
Call
my
you-
nickname tag
what?
name. Gil XL.
Gil XL. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, that's my nickname tag.
Nice. Gil XL.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on Doing Jazz. This is good. This was, yeah, I had fun. So much fun.
Thank you, Lawrence.
I hope we can do it again
Oh,
sometime.
listen, man, let's do it again.
Awesome.
Yes,
Later.
man.
Bye.